There's everybody. Hey,
There we go.
how's it going?
Good.
It's going.
Yeah, good. Everybody's Christmas is done.
Yes.
Yeah. There we go, right? You know what? It's always fun, but it's nice when it's over too.
Yep.
Cool. I'm just letting a bunch of other people in. There's Karen, Jennifer. Beautiful. Hello. Here we are. Almost a new year.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
Hopefully-
It's crazy.
I-
I remember thinking, oh my gosh, 2020, will it ever end?
Yeah. And sure.
We are, right? Oh, I know. It's nuts. It's nuts. So cool. I'm glad you guys are here. What I wanted to do, or what I'm going to do actually, is we're going to talk about meal prep. It's, I don't like to have topics repetitive, but I'm thinking to myself, this is a really good one to talk about because we can talk about this all day, every day, because it's a big deal. We get bored with maybe certain ways we do things or how we've always done things. And we kind of forget what the benefits are, how to do it, what to do, that kind of thing. And I think at the end of the year, we're going to be starting a new year. It's kind of nice to just kind of reset ourselves because we've had, and obviously we have permission to do that, right? To have some cookies and some drinks and some things that we don't normally do. And so getting back on track, here's Alyssa joining, getting back on track with just kind of honing in on the things that we've learned in the past. So there's Alyssa. Hi, Alyssa.
Hi.
Alyssa just joined us today, guys. Nice.
Welcome. Hi, welcome.
Thank
Welcome
you.
aboard.
This is good. This is good. I'm glad you're able to hop on here for a little bit. So I was just telling them that I don't like my topics to be repetitive, but meal prep is something that we could talk all day, every day about, because everybody has different ways that work for them to prep and to be set for the week or be set for a couple days, however it works best for you. And I wanted to just talk a little bit about why we do it, what it is, first of all, what it is, the benefits, and then get into some different styles. And I'm going to ask each of you to maybe share what you currently do, or maybe or any questions you have about it. So I don't want to put you on the spot if it, like Alyssa's brand new, just really starting in and things like that. But
Well, make her go first.
yeah, she probably would too.
No problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, meal prep is preparing meals ahead of time, right? And storing it in your refrigerator or your freezer. Some people really like to put stuff in the freezer and have that for the following week, especially like soups and things like that. And when you put that effort in ahead of time, it just makes it so much easier to go and grab it. It's already there for you. You don't have to think about it, especially when you're short on time, you're working, you're rushed, all that kind of stuff. And so there's different ways to put that effort ahead, right? So you can reheat your meals, right? It's already there. Like, okay. Jennifer just sent me a little note. Thanks, Jennifer, for letting me know that. I appreciate it. So reheating your meals, like leftovers from the day before, right? Put them in the microwave or heat them up in the oven or the stove or the air fryer, whatever works. Assembling your meals ahead of time that you can do and freeze for later or eat later on in the week. You can do a buffet style, and I'll talk a little bit about that. You can do batch prepping. I'll talk about that. And just some different ways of prepping, and kind of what I do a couple different things with my meal prep because I get bored with it, and it can be daunting. You guys know, right? You're like, oh, I gotta put this food together. But once you're done, it's so nice because it's already there for you. I've gotten so good that I can get like a whole week's worth done in about an hour and a half or so. And it's my
Nice.
time in the kitchen. Everybody's out of there. I've got the radio going, whatever it, or a podcast or something. And I just get it done and it's over. Anyway, so you guys know benefits. What are benefits of meal prep? You save money because you're not going out all the time, right?
Save time.
Yeah, you're getting really good foods, good ingredients.
Well, and it's more efficient at the end of the day after you come home from work. You're not having to cook for an hour and a half and now you're starving and picking as you're going along.
Right. Or grabbing the chips as you're cooking the real good stuff because you're starving, right? I've done all that. It saves time eventually, right? So less time cooking during the week because it's already there for you. Unless you're like Pam and you cook for the boyfriend. But I had to throw that in there because I've done that too. Or you have to cook something different for your kids or the grandkids. Yep. So it reduces your stress. It's one less thing to worry about. What am I going to cook for dinner? What should I have? And it's like, well, I'm going to have something easy. I'm just going to cut up some cheese and add some crackers. Well, again, you're just not picking wisely and you're going to eat healthier because it's right there.
Gross.
You have to say that again, Jody.
You already know how it's going to fit into your daily food and your macros,
Right.
because your calories.
Yeah. And, and then you don't have to worry about that willpower, right? Because it's already there. So another thing. One thing I want to mention, if you're just starting out or maybe just a reminder too, is keeping it simple when you start. You can get overwhelmed with it. Like, oh my gosh. Sometimes what I have recommended to some is you start, like if you've not food prepped or meal prepped before, you start with the meal that gives you the most difficulty, like the one that you tend to go out for or you don't eat for. For some people, it's breakfast because they're so busy, they just get going they don't have time for breakfast. So prep that first ahead of time so that you always have breakfast every single day. If it's dinner, always have that prepped and ready to go. So then you can start adding in those other meals during the day that you struggle with. Some people, it's snacks, like they can do the 3 meals, the breakfast, lunch, dinner, but then what do you eat in between times, and prepping that and making sure you have that with you. So keeping it super simple ingredient foods to start really takes the pressure off. Because if you start making these great big huge recipes all the time, it can be daunting. So just those simple foods to start and then putting the meals together. So keeping it simple, schedule it. So pick a time that you're going to meal prep. And you can think about this. For me, it's always been a Sunday afternoon, except for if there's football on. If there's a Packer game on, I know there's Packer fans somewhere in here. Maybe not. Well, you don't want to be a Detroit Lion fan. They're not doing so well. Or a Bears fan, right? But so then I just move it. I'll move it to Sunday morning, or I move it to Monday afternoon. It's really going to be what fits into your schedule versus what I do. So when I do my meal prep on Sunday afternoon, it's for 5 days typically. And I do 5 days for my whole family, knowing, or it's mainly my husband and I, but there are a couple days during the week that I have the stepsons. And so knowing that they're going to be here and they eat a lot because they're growing boys, what can I prep for that? Another option I've done is a Wednesday, and then I prep through that Sunday and then do Sunday forward. But it's going to be a day that works for you, a day that you're off, a day that you're maybe not going into work until later, or you're getting off earlier, and just putting that on your calendar. Again, it's like that, setting that time to do that, just like you set time to do your workouts and all that, set time to do that meal prep. And depending if you're by yourself, maybe you only want to do a couple days at a time, and that's okay. And maybe put the rest in the freezer, that kind of a thing. So, and use like dependable recipes, things that you've tried before, things that people have put in the group. When you're food prepping and you're trying to make something brand new and you're like trying to make sure you have the ingredients, that sometimes can be really stressful. So something that you're maybe used to cooking or somebody's recommended to you that you have everything for, so that it's not stressful for you. And then you have fun with it. Like I do, I tend to put different music on. Sometimes I maybe have that glass of wine while I'm doing it. That really makes it go very easy. And then reward yourself. So you did your food prep, maybe have like a little bit of dark chocolate when you're done, or, you know, just make it kind of your time and make it fun as you can. The house smells really good. You know, the kitchen smells great. It's always just kind of a win-win. So you don't need to prep full meals. So that means like, okay, well, Monday I'm going to have lasagna. I'm just throwing stuff out. And then I'm going to have, you know, a beef stew. And then I'm going to have this. What you can do is this is a lot of what I do. So this is a strategy. Cooking a batch of rice. Usually it's like wild rice, jasmine rice. So that means I'll do 2 cups of rice, which gives me a lot of servings because of having the kids here. But rice really stays pretty decent in the refrigerator, right? Chopping up all my vegetables. So I have everything for salads. So I have my spinach that I buy, but I chop up my carrots and my zucchini and peppers and whatever. And I get that all, and I just put it in separate containers. And then I will do chicken either in the Instant Pot or grill, depending on what the weather's like. You can do it in the oven. You can do it. Oops, I'm going to let somebody in here. So there's just different ways of doing that protein, but then you have that too. So then what I tend to do then is, because mainly I work outside or work inside the house or outside of my home, and then I can go and put some chicken, measure that out, measure out my rice, measure out my vegetable, put it in the microwave or whatever, and then I eat it. So if you go to work, what you can do is you take some containers, whether it's Tupperware or something else, and you can put your portions in there and take that to work. So when I was working, I would do my breakfast before I went. I would take 2 snacks and my lunch, and I take it in my little cooler and I take it into work with me. So there's just some different ways that you can do that. Or if where you work has a refrigerator, you can get there and put it in there and you have that for that. So you don't have to make like these extravagant meals, but you can make parts of that meal. You can have fruits available, almonds, string cheese, all of those kinds of things. So, so there's the buffet style meal prep, which is really what I just said. One thing that I've learned to do too, and hopefully this is helpful too, like I'll take, and I cook for a larger group of people too, but I'll take a couple pounds of chicken. I'll put it in a big Ziploc bag. I'll add some avocado oil, and then I put all my seasonings in it and I shake it. So it's like a shake and bake, but except for that, the shake and bake stuff. Put that in the refrigerator. I label what it is, like what I seasoned it with, and I'll even do another batch so that I have fresh chicken already ready to go. And then I'll just put that in the Instant Pot and cook that. That's 20 minutes, boom. And I've got a full, like a bunch of chicken. Then we just heat up some rice and maybe I'll do a vegetable with that. So I've done things like that where I've, put your, what do I want to call it? Like your marinades and stuff together, not cook it ahead of time, but cook it that day. So it's fresher, if you will, if that makes sense. It's just a different way of prepping ahead of time. So that's an option too. Talked a little bit about batch cooking, portioning things out. So I do this too traveling. So if I'm going to go on a little trip, car ride, something, I'll portion out my almonds. I'll put them in a little baggie. I only eat what's in there, portion out my vegetables and my snacks. So I know that I'm not taking a whole bag of almonds, opening it, setting it next to me as I'm driving. And then I'm just like shoving almonds in my face and I don't even know how much I'm having. I portion it out, like this is my 1/4 cup of almonds. This is my 200 grams of cucumbers or whatever I want to take along on the trip. That way I know exactly what I'm eating, and especially traveling, that's really helpful. Airplane too, right? put it all together, portion out, you know exactly what you're eating. Getting caught in an airport, airports do have healthier choices now than they used to if they're open, you know, and if they're not so busy. But I always like to have snacks because, especially on the airplane, I'm not into I'll eat the almonds they hand out, but I'm not into the cookies or pretzels or anything like that. So having that kind of stuff is important. Putting things in the freezer. Do you guys, any of you put stuff in the freezer and then take it out later and eat it?
Yeah.
Good. That's a really good way to do it because it keeps it nice and fresh, and then you can just pull it out. You can do pre-cooked meal like egg muffins, you know, doing like scrambled eggs, cutting up vegetables and things like that, and putting it in the little muffin tins and making like little egg things. Those are really good. You can do steel cut oats ahead of time, jar salads, soup stews, all those kinds of things. So those are some ideas. I'd like to hear from you guys, what you've learned, what you do, if it's similar, anything like that. So Kathy, I know you're fairly new, but what have you done to help yourself, especially with the busyness of the retail and things like that?
Usually the only thing I really prep is I'll cook my chicken ahead of time.
Okay.
So I'll have cooked chicken in the fridge, and then I can just divvy it up, and I'll steam my broccoli or whatever vegetable I'm having that morning just before I pack it up to go to work.
Okay.
And then I portion out my little snacks, my little beef jerky, my little string cheeses or
Good.
almonds. And I
Right.
put all that in my lunch bag, and
Nice.
I just
Good.
go from there.
Good. And you're finding that that's nice to have that ahead of time, right?
Oh, heck yeah.
Right.
Because
Right.
between the time I have breakfast and the time I have lunch, all of a sudden I'm like starving.
Right.
So I just grab my little beef jerky and my little almonds, and I
Good
do
to
pretty
go.
good.
Good. Good. Good for you. That's great. That's really good. You're keeping it simple, makes it a lot easier. As you learn and you continue to go doing bigger things, you'll learn how to do that kind of ahead of time too.
Right.
And yeah, so that I still keep it very, very simple just because, first of all, I like that. Doing a soup always takes a little bit of time because I will put it in my Fitness Pal as, you know, as a meal.
Right.
But like my husband, like he made a soup yesterday, but he didn't do that. So then I had to kind of eye things and, you know, that kind of stuff, but there's nothing wrong with that either. As long as you're putting something in my Fitness Pal and you have an idea, but no, very good. I like that. I like that. Pam, what do you do?
I do a lot like what you do,
Okay.
to be honest. So I cook everything ahead of time and have it in the fridge. On my best weeks, which hasn't been as of late, I will portion it all out in my meal prep containers and have it all ready so I know each day, and then I don't have to think about it. It's not a big deal, but it just makes it easier if I'm in a hurry or
Right.
whatever. But I do cook everything ahead of time and have it in the fridge ready to go. The only thing I put in the freezer after I cook, because I usually cook a lot of it, is the shredded chicken. And then I'll put it in like pound size or 2 pound size bags and throw it in the freezer or whatever.
Right.
But
Yeah.
everything else I do, I sometimes do the marinade like you do and not cook the chicken ahead. Maybe I'll cook half of it ahead and then half, you know, midweek or something. I find that I meal prep on Sundays and Wednesdays for me.
Sure.
Work. So yeah.
Good. Good. Yeah. Those tend to be the days because it's Sundays like beginning of the week and Wednesdays like
Midweek.
Yeah. Yeah. Jennifer has a question. How do you keep meat? Oops, I gotta go in here. How do you keep meat from getting overcooked with reheat or not taste fresh? So I tend to do more fresh stuff. Like I put it in the Ziploc bag and shake it. But a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put it, if you have an air fryer, I'll heat it up in the air fryer. It keeps it crisp. It keeps the juices in there. Microwave makes it tougher. And you sometimes don't, because sometimes you do overdo it. Especially like with chicken and stuff like that. Yeah, air fryer, perfect. And it just helps reheat. You can do that with like even your whole meal you can put in there. Like if you have a vegetable, Maybe not the rice if you're doing rice, but your vegetable and your meat you can do in the air fryer and just heat it up. It just tastes really good that way. Yeah. Perfect. Great question. I mean, reheating is a big deal. I get it. I tend to do a lot of ground turkey and ground chicken. And once it's browned, I mean, you don't really have to heat it that long. I'll even I'll eat it cold on salad.
Right.
Because you just mix it in with avocado and maybe a little bit of like a Dijon mustard or something. Keeps it fresh that way. Yeah, good. Thank you. Jody, what do you do for food prep or meal prep?
I usually do couple times a week, like Sunday and Wednesday. But what I do is if I'm dealing with like ground turkey or ground chicken, instead of frying it or cooking it up so that it's crumbled, I actually make it into and I'll kind of take half of it and do it like it's a turkey burger or a chicken burger, and I can put, you know, onions in it, or sometimes I'll put like crumbled blue cheese or crumbled feta in it. And then I'll actually do it as with the sausage spices. So getting both dinner, lunch or dinner, and then the sausage ones are more for like breakfast if I want to feel like I want to start the day off. And it just tastes like I figured out the turkey part. It tastes like sausage. I did it again yesterday.
Yeah. My favorite.
Yeah. So I end up, you know, doing a pound or two of that and just get it all set up so that I have it ready for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, depending. And then there's some nights I just have the, you know, the individually shrink wrap frozen. I eat a lot of salmon. So that thaws out quickly. You know, you stick the shrink wrap sealed thing in some warm water, it thaws out, it's in the air fryer, and in 15 minutes it's done.
Yeah. Fresh is really good. But if you're, you know, you're working and you're doing all that, it tends to, you know, you're not able to do that. Like I'm pretty fortunate. I can work out of the house now, but when I was taking all my stuff, it just was the way I did it. Right. So no, thank you for sharing. That's great. That's great. Karen, what about you?
I generally will pick 2 proteins, so like ground turkey and chicken breast, and I'll cook those like Sunday or Monday. So I know I have you know, one or the other I can choose from during the week, and then those are pretty much universal. I can mix and match them with either salads or vegetables or whatever carb I cook. I usually pick 2 carbs, like a rice and sweet potatoes. And then I can add those to anything, really. If I decide for breakfast, I can prep ahead and do a scrambled eggs with vegetables and some ground turkey.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or I'll just do oatmeal and fresh fruit, that sort of thing. But I like the ground turkey because I can use that for lunch or breakfast.
Right.
And then if I do the chicken breast, you know, I know she's worried about reheating. So usually if I do chicken breast, I use it for a salad. That way I'm not reheating it, because it gets dried out quick if you try to reheat that.
Yeah, it gets a little chewy.
Yeah. And snacks, I just yogurt. I keep it simple. Prepackaged yogurt. You know, the prepackaged almonds, beef jerky, the cheese. You know, just simple things.
Well, it makes it easier, right? You know, sometimes I like less choices with a lot of different things. But I like your idea of I'm going to pick 2 proteins and 2 carbs, you know, and your vegetables. I think that's a really good, and that gives you some leeway each week to pick different things if you want to. I like that's a really good way to do it. I like that. Yeah.
And then, you know, you can add whatever vegetables you want. Frozen vegetables, so easy anymore. You pop them in the microwave and you've got vegetable, and you can mix that with anything. And then dinners I tend to do because my husband, you know, I'll eat dinner with my husband. So that's when I usually, if there's something that's more time consuming, that's when I'll do it. I'll do fish or something like that.
Makes sense. Dinner is a little bit easier for most people because you're at home and you can take a little bit of time to do that. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. No, that's great. That's great. Jennifer, I don't know if you want to just type it in the chat, which you tend to do. And then when you get it in there, I'll read it. How would that be? Do that. In the meantime, Pat, what do you do for meal prep? Oh, I can't hear you, girl. There we
There we
go.
go.
Now I got you.
I do some of the things that you do, but I'm more of a moody cook. You know, I'll just say, what am I going to eat today? And then I'll make a batch of chicken burgers. And I am finding that for, like somebody was talking about the food getting dry,
Yeah.
I'll cook with some vegetable broth.
Yeah.
And lemon juice. You know, I pan fry my things with a little oil, and then I steam them in the vegetable broth and lemon juice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have like almost a gravy.
Right. I've done that before too. That's great.
It's not a real gravy because it's just vegetable broth, lemon juice, and a tiny bit of the oil from the cooking.
Right.
And that always, when you reheat the chicken burger or some ground, whatever you're using, helps a lot. But it's 2 people. So if I make 2 or 3 chicken breasts and I'm having 4 ounces and he's having almost 8, you know, it goes pretty quick.
It does.
So I would have to make bigger batches, and I was considering that.
Mm-hmm.
And for on the go, I always have yogurt and, you know, I love yogurt and cottage cheese mixed.
Mm.
And I mix it in yeah, it's delicious. I mix it in a little thing and throw it in a plastic baggie with a tiny little ice pack. Shove it in my purse, go to exercise, and I always have a spoon, and I just eat it after that. Or hard-boiled eggs.
Right.
And I'm a big fan of, I think it's alfresco chicken apple sausages.
Yes, those are good.
So
Yes,
I'll make
I
a
love
big batch of them, and I can eat them cold. I'm like you. I can throw everything in the salad cold, or I just be in my car eating a sausage, a whole sausage, taking a bite. If people look over at me, they might be like, "What is she doing?" The hard-boiled egg, you know.
Right. Right.
But I wasn't, you know, I love almonds, and I have to look at your thing about them.
Yeah.
I don't have almonds. I have walnuts.
Yep. Those are good too.
But that never seems like enough of a snack for me.
Yeah. The almonds. Yeah. Well,
Just
so
a
like
quarter of a cup. I gotta have something else with it.
Yeah. I'll do almonds and a protein shake. Gives me.
Yeah, I did a protein shake today with some cacao. I say it wrong. Cacao.
Cacao, like a powder.
Yes.
Yes.
That my
That's
daughter
good.
set me very low in sugar and
Yes.
fat. It was incredible.
Yes.
So
that's
yeah,
good.
I do. And I'm trying to do what you had said, a protein and a carb.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do a lot of egg whites with salsa in the morning.
That's a
I
good
just
one
put
too.
a tablespoon of salsa. And, you know, I would like to do more food prep though. I just have to.
I like your ideas though. I've never mixed cottage cheese and yogurt together. I have to try it. Just to try.
I did that when my kids were babies.
Okay.
And I accidentally gave them the cottage cheese, and then I gave them a spoonful of the yogurt, and it mixed, and their eyes just lit up. So to this day, all 3 of my kids eat cottage cheese and yogurt.
That's good. I like that. I like that. I love the ideas. I think I'm going to put some of these ideas below the video, the replay.
You know what? I would like to know more about making soups.
Okay.
You know, like lentil soups and that kind of thing.
Sure.
I mean, you know,
Sure.
I love soup. I really love soup.
Yeah, it's quick.
And like tonight, my little cold is creeping back, but it's nothing like it had been. I only had it for 2 days, but my stomach was a little unsettled, and that's what I wanted. I wanted soup, but you know, you can't buy the soup made. Well, you can in some places when, you know, it's good soup, but
right.
I would never eat canned soup at all.
No. No.
So
No.
I want to find out how to make more soups and freeze them and you know, but within the ranges of what we're allowed to eat.
Right. I can do let me do some research on that. Yeah. No, soups, especially right now up here when it's cold and snowy, soups are like, chili soups, anything.
Yeah, well,
so,
when it's 50 degrees here, everybody wants soup and chili. So
yeah. We're outside in our bikinis when it's 50.
No, I know.
Right?
I got on a long sleeve shirt today.
Oh, I know. Christmas here was, what was Christmas Day? Here in Wisconsin, it was like 45.
I lost your videos completely.
Uh-oh. But thank you for
Um,
sharing. I'm going to put some of these ideas, like I said, in the comments and stuff. Alyssa said she loves soup. I think everybody loves soup. Who doesn't, right? So I'm going to just read here what Jennifer said. She can do breakfast easy, as I do basically the same thing every day, which is what I do too. Lunch, she will prep ahead, which is egg salad or tuna fish. I eat those pretty much all week. For lunches, switching days. Dinner is my issue. You need to figure out some prepping for that. So hopefully some of these ideas are helpful for you, Jennifer. I do like, heating things up with the chicken broth. I've done that too. I kind of forgot about that, and adding
Yeah.
some juice like that. I think lemon or lime juice is really good. Almonds, yes, almonds are really good
everything
fat.
went away.
They have protein, all of that kind of stuff too. So good. Did I miss anybody? I know, Alyssa, you're pretty new to but you've done a lot of meal prep in the past. Is there anything you'd like to share about what you've done in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I still do it. So what we do is we cook a whole bunch of chicken and we put it in a Pyrex or in bags inside the fridge. I love the idea of portioning out the vegetables.
Yeah,
I think that's great. So I'm going to do that.
good.
And yeah, I just got your recipe book, so thank you. I'm going to
You're
look at that.
welcome. Yeah, take a look. You'll love it.
But yeah, no, these. So thanks.
Yes, good. I appreciate you sharing. And yes, first day on her journey, actually really tomorrow, but you've got your stuff, so that's exciting. She'll be starting with the 28-day Power Foods. With the recipe book, you'll love the different flavors and the tastes, that the pineapple and just the different things that, like, I'll do my turkey. I still do this ground turkey with butternut squash and sliced strawberries. It's like to die for.
What?
Yeah. The ground turkey is seasoned like sausage. So it has like basil,
Oh.
rosemary.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sausage. And then the butternut squash, when I cook it, it's with, I put a little olive oil on it, and then I put garlic and salt and pepper. And then I scoop a little bit of that on top, and I heat it up, and then I slice a bunch of strawberries on top. So you get that like sausage, salty, sweet. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, or you jasmine rice instead of the butternut squash, or I'll do half and half. But I do keep it pretty simple too. I don't go too crazy, but I will do a little bit of research about the soups. Should be able to get you some information on that, because it is that time of the year for sure. So good. You guys have learning a lot, and I love it that you're sharing, because we can all learn from each other. And I love to learn, because there's just always different ways of doing things, and it's doing the same thing gets old, and we get lost, and then we get frustrated, and then we don't want to do it because it gets old. But like pre-doing everything and portioning it out is really helpful, especially when you're first starting. And getting back to those basics, like we've had a little bit of freedom with the holidays, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have some freedom. I think that's good. It's always good to kind of get back aligned with your vision and stuff. And, we have New Year's coming up, which is great. I mean, but then let's think about, okay, we're going to be in January. Those are really long months. What are our goals going forward? So, but I love the sharing. And when the replay comes out, when you guys see it, if you want to add things, feel free to do that. That's what the group is for, to share what you've learned, share, or ask questions in there too. And that's all monitored and looked at. One thing I wanted to share with you guys, and there's going to be more information coming about how you can get this stuff, but remember, I've been talking about supplements for like ever.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yay.
So this is
I
the
can't see anything.
oh, this is I got my supplements that are going to be launching soon. So this is my vegan vanilla flavored. protein powder. Now I have the regular stuff too. It just happens to be, I wanted to try the vegan because I know what the others taste like. The vegan always will taste different than the whey. And it's trying to find the right combination that it's tastes good, but there's always a difference between vegan and regular. There just always will be. It's just because of the ingredients. I'll just show you another one. I've got a couple of them, but there's this one. It's called Immunity Nectar, but look at, I got some colors on there. This is an elderberry. And so what this does is it gives you immunity, has some zinc in there and some additional vitamins. It's all made for women. There's that. I have multivitamin. I have collagen, regular whey protein. I'm just trying to think because I'm starting my next 5 products.
Do you have pre-workout?
Pre-workout will be in my next batch.
Branch chain?
What's a pre-workout?
So pre-workout is, it usually has a little bit of caffeine in it.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't have a, yeah. I
No.
tend to do like a half a scoop. It just gives me a little bit of a boost versus having coffee or even tea. I'll
No, I
just do
can't do-
that.
I
But
can't
it
do
has some,
caffeine.
yeah, it has some additional vitamins and things in it. But one thing that you might like, Pat, would be branch chain amino acids. And what that is you get amino
Well, I have
acids.
that.
Do you?
Yeah, I
Good.
have that in my protein powder.
Good. I even have additional, it's in protein powders, but I also take it specifically just to build more lean muscle, and it just supports that. So, but there's a bunch of stuff. But yeah, so once you have your first 5 products, because you have to develop all your labels for that, and then or just other stuff that goes with it. But then you can launch your next 5 shortly after that. So
I just need to ask you a question. Can anybody tell me why I'm not seeing a single person? I just see your names.
we all have our video on. I'm not sure, and you're on your phone, right?
No, I'm on my
Nope.
computer.
You are. So
I don't know
I
why.
can't figure, I mean, your names are all there, but there's
Huh.
none of your pictures all disappeared.
interesting, because I can see you.
Yeah,
I know.
But it must
I
have
see me.
something.
I see me too. Just me.
Yeah, that's weird. Unless there's something
That's not very pleasant.
No. How sad. You're adorable. You're adorable. And it might
Oh,
be
well.
something to do with the video on your laptop. It has to be that. I
Yeah,
don't know
it's
what to,
probably
yeah.
just
Everybody's a little bit,
laptop.
everything's a little bit different. I'm looking to see on mine
I don't
how,
get it.
or security might be, maybe you
I
don't
don't
have
know what
security to
happened.
see us.
Well, so in the bottom left of mine, it says stop video. Did you maybe inadvertently touch that? Oh,
Well,
no.
I just did that and it stopped me. So now
Oh,
I'll
just you.
restart it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
there you are.
It's just me.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Oh, well, keep going. Never mind. I can hear.
That's all right. So,
I haven't lost my hearing yet.
anyway, I just wanted to share with you more coming on how you guys can get some of that. It's good stuff. You'll love it, especially protein powder is super important for supplement and just some additional things. But yeah, so I was finally, has been talking about this since April.
Are you going to have it on a website or how
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be on a Shopify site where you guys can go in and
Oh, yeah.
order. It goes directly to your house. You can order more than one. You can do subscribe and save, so you save money on it. You can do a bunch at the same time. So they're called bundles.
Yep.
So there's going to be different options. Eventually, and Pam knows this, eventually I'm going to have apparel. So there'll be like workout stuff and different things like that, bottles, like shaker bottles, and some different things like that. So once I get those supplements kind of all launched, then we'll do apparel. It takes a little bit, but we're getting farther. It kind of slowed up a little bit over the holidays, but now we should be able to launch the site this week. So I'll be putting it in the group. I'll be like doing a video on it about each product and what it's for, just so you guys understand. I don't use every single supplement known to man. I just use what works for me, and I can recommend things that I think would work for you, and it might be just individual too. So, so who's that guy, Pat? Oh, well. You guys have anything for me? Any questions at all?
Oh my God. Does anyone else have, I mean, god awful gas from eating all of this? Oh, some
Bless your heart.
What were you eating?
well, no, I have a protein shake, or then, or if I have like the collagen powder, or I don't know if it's just too much all at once, but oh my God.
That could be. Could be.
That doesn't do it to me, but I can't eat my broccoli or cauliflower or Brussels or all of my favorite stuff because that does it to me.
All that. Oh, those like turkey jerky things.
Can't eat those either, huh?
No, no. I don't want to be around me, let alone anybody else be around me at that point.
Isn't it interesting how foods affect you though?
Crazy. Yes.
It is. It is. Yes, yes, yes. So sometimes whey protein bothers me,
Mhm.
Oh, really?
but other times it doesn't. It's weird. Kathy, did you have a question?
No, I was just listening to what everybody was saying.
I just wanted to check, make sure. Yeah. So yeah, if different foods too, like if you were eating things that you don't normally eat during the holidays, you probably felt a little bloated maybe. That happens, especially like sugars and causing inflammation and that kind of stuff. I don't cook, I don't bake the cookies, but I get so many, I don't have to bake them because people bring me from the gym that I have. My coach, she bakes these amazing cookies, like, and candy, like these peanut butter balls with the chocolate. Oh, start me on that. And, so I don't really cook it, but I don't have to because I get them. I've got a couple still sitting here. I'm hoping the boys eat them tonight yet, so I don't have to look at it. But yeah, that's pretty normal how foods heal us and do really good for us, right? There's lots of healing that goes with the foods that we eat, the really good foods. But then when we eat things that we're not used to, it really just it just has a negative effect.
Those turkey bites or the turkey sticks, they're all, because they're lower in fat and they have a fair amount of protein in them. But I don't know what the heck is in there, but oh my God.
It could be just the process. It could be, I don't know if it has some nitrates or nitrites in it, but sometimes that can really bother people's stomachs. Just watch that, especially in cured meats like bacon, or any of the packaged deli meats. So if you're going to get deli meats, I recommend you get it from behind the counter and really kind of ask a little bit about it because it's preservative. It's preserved so it doesn't go bad. I mean, yeah. But yes. It's a good thing you live alone.
I was just going to say that.
Oh, and then you go to work and it's like, you're looking around like, who's around me? Like,
Guess you won't be eating any more of that.
no, I will not.
Right?
Oh, you guys are funny. I love it. I love it. Well, I want you all to have an amazing new year.
You as well.
Okay?
Thank
You
you.
as well.
I will.
Wait,
and-
don't go yet.
Okay.
I didn't know I was muted again. And I've been saying 5 times here, I have a question for everybody.
Oh, now we hear you.
Yeah, now you hear me loud. I don't know about you guys, but because of this journey with Diana, did anybody find that Christmas was different and from all that we've learned with your eating and your food habits? Because I had a lot of major differences this year than I've ever had.
Absolutely.
In a good way.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I feel so, usually after Christmas, I am a slug.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm tired. My body feels swollen. I do not feel that way. And I enjoyed myself. I had cookies and I didn't do as much wine as usual, but my food intake was much different. I mean, I gained 2 pounds, but I'm not worrying about that. 2.5 pounds. I know that's nothing compared to my usual 7.
Right. And that's not fat
So
either.
I feel like I've learned a lot.
Mm-hmm. You have.
Well, does anybody else feel that way, or did you just all pig out, or did you watch? What did you do?
I actually had my sister ask, what do you have? My other sister, what can you have? And she goes, can you have turkey? I said, yes. Can you have ham? I can, but I probably won't eat it because of the salt. She goes,
Yeah.
salad? Absolutely. So, I mean, she made sure that there were things there that I could have, which I truly
Good.
appreciate, because it kept me from getting into the mashed potatoes and gravy and the stuffing and all the things that I would love to have, but I knew that I would eat with impunity the minute I had, had a bite, I would have 10 bites. So I have to stay
Yeah, I
away
know.
from. So, and my
The
family,
only thing that did me in was some oatmeal cookies, but I found out that the reason I went into them was because I was a little bored at the time that we were
Sure.
eating them. You know,
Sure.
the conversation was kind of, and I was like, okay, I'll have another one of those.
Mm,
But everything else that I ate in such moderation. I was really, really surprised.
good for
Really
you.
surprised.
I'm real.
'Cause
That's
usually I go crazy.
really proud of you. I mean, you've taken what you've learned and you've put it into practice. You guys, we can all learn stuff and hear stuff, but putting it into our
Yes.
life and doing it and using it is one thing. You can learn it all and know it, but to use it and put it into your life.
But every time I wanted something like another, I make this thing called Christmas crack. It's a joke. It's
Can only
everybody's
imagine.
probably eaten it, but it's like crack. Once you eat one, you eat 100 of them. And every time I would go to put something in my mouth, I would think, now how much is that going to be? How much is that going to be?
Right.
And then when I would put it in my Fitness Pal, and you can find Christmas crack in the Fitness Pal,
Oh, yeah, I
believe
can
it or
find
not.
a lot in there. Yeah.
I'd say, whoa, and then that would be it. So the accountability part over the holidays was really important for me.
Good.
fantastic. Good for you.
I bet everybody
I mean-
was a little bit different for everybody because you're thinking more about it. It's like right here.
Yeah,
Right. Right. And you're
doesn't mean I didn't want it. I
right.
still wanted it, but I made myself stop, which I've never done before.
Mhm.
That's fantastic.
Well, and it's the support, it's the support that you're getting not only from me, but from everybody else too. That's so
Yeah.
helpful to be able to talk through things and
But
know
you're
that.
showing, you're showing up for yourself finally. It's
Yeah.
like, you know what? This is what I want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, never mind that everybody else is saying, oh, have another one, have another one. No, this is what I want.
Right, right. And yeah, and they like to do that. And some of it's
Oh,
normal too, right? Like it's kind of some of it's normal behavior because they want to make sure you're enjoying yourself and that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm back on
No.
track today, that's for sure.
Yes. You guys are, no, it's great. Thanks for sharing, Pat. And I know I've heard from others that they've had a really, really good holiday. And yeah, there might be up a pound or two, but basically it's just because maybe you had that extra glass of wine or you whatever, and you know that that's not fat. You guys know that that's going to be inflammation. It's just that
Right.
extra stuff we've had, and that's going to go away. And it will, obviously continuing on the path and stuff. So, anybody else have anything?
Routine for me. Once I got out of my routine over the last few days, I actually forgot to take my meds 2 mornings in a row.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. And at night, I'd be taking my nighttime meds and I'd be, I don't think I took my medication this morning. One of them's water pill.
Oh.
So water, 4
Mhm.
pounds,
Right.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Routine is good for all of us. Yeah.
that's what keeps me going, this routine. And once I deviate from it, I end up,
Yep.
it'll mess me the entire day.
And the biggest thing too, Jody, is that you identified that, which is super important. So when you know that's what's happening, it's much
easier to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I know I have to plan ahead.
Yeah. And we all get into that too. We all stuff happens and you forget, and
Yep.
part of it's we're getting older too, and you got to give ourselves a little bit of grace, a little bit of grace, because we're not.
Jody, are you retiring this year?
No, I wish. I've got another
Oh,
10 years.
Somebody is. Who's retiring? I thought somebody was retiring.
Pam is retired.
I
No,
am.
maybe she's not.
Yeah.
Maybe she's
Yeah.
not in the group anymore. don't know.
I'm trying to think.
She was
I
going
don't
to
know.
retire in, I thought, January or February.
What was it? Mary?
Who?
Was it Mary?
Could have been. Yes, I think it's her.
Yeah, it could be her. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because then you'll find it really easy.
It's
to
Mary.
get
I
your
think
routine.
it's gonna be March.
Yeah.
Last I heard was March. Yep. So
Once you retire, it's so easy to get your routine the way you want it. I'm sorry you
Yeah.
girls have to work, but
you know what? We're all gonna come to you for that advice.
but you
are
won't need
so
to,
right.
because when you're retired, it all falls into place.
Oh, sounds joyful. Kathy's like, yeah.
No,
What do
it
you do
does.
it?
It really
I'd like that.
Yeah.
does.
All right, ladies.
All right.
I want you all to have an amazing new year. I will see you on Monday. But
All right.
as always, let me know if you need anything, okay?
Okay.
good.
All right.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Bye.
New
New
Year.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.